great point, Brent. Great point. Finally, a great point. It's been a long time since you brought a great point to the show, Brent.
Thank God.
I just...
I was going to lose my job there.
Yeah, man, I've been carrying it. I've been like, man, all my great points. I really hope Brent brings a great point to this one.
Hello, Alex. Ever seen Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, no, I haven't, and I really should. It's one of those I think masterpieces that I don't have on my radar.
Alex is the central character, and there's just a funny scene where his I guess it's one of his teachers or his principal comes over when he kind of fakes sick and he's at home, and the teacher comes to his house, and they have a whole thing in the bedroom where he sits down beside him and says, Alex. So,
okay,
good movie. I recommend it.
Okay, yeah, I hear very it's like it's a creepy movie, right? It's kind of like it's not a very like happy. Not a very right. Yeah,
it's very dystopian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
you said
it has a happy ending.
Disturbing-ish. Yeah. It has a happy ending.
It's a Kubrick movie, so
yeah,
it's dark.
I'm trying to think of a movie of his I've actually finished.
Oh, really?
Because I just think. Yeah, I may have, but even that is what, 2 hours and 2.5 hours. That movie. So I know like the shots. I know like the moments of that movie.
See, that would be something that you, as kind of a cinematographer, as it were, would appreciate watching a movie like that and seeing, because he was very unique in the way that he shot things, and just in very stark angles and kind of perspectives to heighten that level of fear. Yeah.
I know he was known for that for sure, and same with 2001: A Space Odyssey. He was very kind of master of cinematography with that one as well.
That's a tough one to get through if you're not a fan, because it's long and the end is very long.
Yeah. See, I think that's just the thing with them. Like, is even what Dr. Strangelove is. I have that movie as well, but I think I just never got through it. So I think as my musical tastes develop, as they are with this show, that I will start delving into some more film auteur grounds.
We should start another podcast. We'll have a sister program. We'll just do films.
All right, Friday Night Film Club. Friday film. Yeah, well, that'll be the time I actually get to watch them. Brent, I put the TV downstairs during the week, so I don't have a TV upstairs. I don't have a TV on the main level during the week.
You mean like in the basement or the main floor?
Well, like in our main floor, like we have our living room. So I take the TV down. We don't watch TV at all during the week.
You take it down?
Yeah, I take it down so that we're not even tempted, so that we don't even like have the chance to watch it during the week.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
How do I do it? Well, I unplug the HDMI and the plug, and I move it physically.
Is it not mounted on the wall?
No, we have a TV stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still kind of like, 1970s, 1980s ish.
No, I was just thinking, like, it seems like quite a task to move a huge TV around. Just
if it was mounted, I might not do this, but it's not. Yeah. So I move it down, and that way, like, the boys can't like be like bugging us to watch TV during the week. It's a bit of a parenting thing. a little bit as well.
Good
But
for
even
you.
for me, I was like, I just want to stop watching TV before bed. So I take
really?
it back up Fridays and bring it down Sunday evenings, Monday mornings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at how disciplined you are.
You got to, it's got to be worth it to take it out. It's got to be worth it. You got to really want to watch something to bring it out.
I was going to say that it makes it more of a treat that way, doesn't it? So you like look forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've replaced it with a couple of Yamaha speakers, and we just have music during the week, and then during the week ends, we bring out the TV. So what I'm saying with that is, like, I don't have the chance to watch anything. I don't watch anything during the week other than on the weekends. So
right.
I've got to make sure that I'm pointed in what I choose to spend my time watching on the weekends.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Maybe it'll be a Kubrick movie if I just determine that I'm going to put the hours into it. So,
well, it's an investment. You really gotta focus, and it's a bit of a long haul. So
all of his
maybe
movies.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
So, yeah. So I don't know how we got there through this, but yeah. I guess because I put my TV downstairs and bring it back up, I'm somewhat of a resident alien in the world of
like if I shake my head tomorrow.
I don't think that one worked, but I was trying to find my place in a place that doesn't exist. Anyways, yeah, my misplace in the place of the place.
Wow. Does anyone watch this show, do you think?
Probably not. Probably not. Yeah.
Like,
we just do it for our own joy. And look at the joy we have.
We do. We do have joy.
Oh, gosh. We do have joy.
So I'm very curious, as I usually am. I think I'm pretty curious about how you feel about these records. Sometimes I know.
You are.
But most of the time I'm really, I think about you and the record, and I think, like, does he like this? Does he hate it? Is it going to be Supertramp for him again?
Right.
Because we jump around a lot,
We do.
And this was a bit of a shift away from what you might expect.
Same continent, but but definitely a different genre shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In some ways. I mean, maybe it's obviously it's a little brother of sorts to Rock and Roll of Thin Lizzy, but
that is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to bring this in, well, two reasons. I absolutely love this record. I listened to it quite a lot. The second reason is because it's kind of it's very heavily influenced by Bowie, by Queen, and by T-Rex, in my opinion. You can hear a lot of that stuff in the grooves of this record. And so I thought it would be kind of cool because a lot of people don't know about it. They know about it in the meantime. And, they might know that Royston Langdon, the singer, dated, and I think married her for a little while, Steven Tyler's daughter. That's really kind of the only thing, that people seem to kind of know about this record. I mean, I'm sure there's people who love it too, but you don't come across those people a lot. It's a pretty obscure record, but it is the perfect example of the deep cut availability. So if you hear a song like In the Meantime, which was huge for a little while, you got to think like there's got to be 2 or 3 other good songs on this record. So buy the record. Yeah. And you'll be rewarded. And this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably few and far between in the 90s of this type of music, though, right? I mean, I don't think there were too many albums. I think there were songs that would get you excited, like In the Meantime, and you'd go out and buy the album and you'd be like, what is this other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with this one, I think I know what you're saying.
This was kind of like, so these guys, they were four English guys living in New York City. Yeah. And they found each other through, I think one of them had this sanitary job where he had to kill rats with a shovel or something like that. And he bumped into one of the other dudes. It was just like a weird story of how they all met. Anthony and Royston Langdon were brothers though, so they knew each other already. But so the thing is, they were British guys in New York in the early 90s when Britpop was huge. And Britpop wasn't, I guess it was kind of fairly huge here, but American audiences didn't really take to it as much as they took to classic rock. And the thing that I take away from this is that there's a Brit rock or a Britpop influence, but it's mostly predicated on, the old stuff like the Bowie and the T-Rex.
Yeah. And entirely even, almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just a really, really interesting record for me.
Yeah. Do I go?
I want to know what you think.
That's the moment.
I'm just waiting for you to.
Yeah. So obviously, in the meantime, became a song that I when it came on, I was like, yeah, I know this tune. But it was almost like one of those songs that starts out with this really great, we know how it starts, and then it kind of gets into it, and you're kind of like, that kind of just subdued itself, maybe a little too much. Maybe it kind of does itself a little bit of a disservice the way that this song goes. So I was like, okay, yeah, I know this tune. I've seen it, heard it in movies and yada yada. And then Spacehog came on, and I was like, what is this? And then it just kind of kept surprising me as it went on. And I totally agree with you, man. This is a super fun and really cool album that is just again, it's a ton of fun. They take liberties and they really, again, rip off their influences in many ways, and it's fun, and you can hear them having fun as well. I think that's the other great part, is we always talk about how we can hear, especially in those earlier albums in the 70s and 80s and 60s, I guess, with Zeppelin, but people having fun while they're recording. And really seemed like these guys did that throughout this process. So
that's
good album,
so great.
Man. Really good.
Oh, good for you, man. I wasn't sure if you're going to like it or not. Just,
there's some songs on here that I'm like, I don't know, but
we will go, there's two songs on here that I do not like.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one in particular that I skip. I
think there could be.
I won't listen.
Oh, okay. Well, that is it. Yeah. I think it could be worse. And I think that the other songs on here that are really good, they're just surprisingly really good. And I'll say it right away, Zeros at the very end. And maybe that's one of your songs, but that's to me, I'm like, man, this is super cool and catchy and a fun tune. Yeah. So, it's interesting. It was an interesting listen, but at the end of the day, I enjoyed it.
Isn't it almost just, it's like, and I said this before and I don't remember what record I was talking about. It was a while ago, but it was like just finding a piece of gold, literally. Yeah. What an almost an improbable discovery this record was during this time. Yeah, because this came out in 95, but it was written in 94, and so sorry, Riker's down here.
Fleeter. Get over here, bud. I was trying to figure out
what that noise was.
I heard it. I heard the tapping, and I was like,
let's see if we can get him up here. Come here. No, he won't. You can hear him walking though, right?
Oh, yep. It's all over the recording.
Down here. He's going to lay on the couch.
They're learning how to become bipeds. That's the thing. They're figuring it out.
You're being pretty big.
There we go. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice try, human.
Yeah. So Shit, what was I saying about it was almost improbable because of grunge. Grunge was
right,
like, the soup du jour during that time. And so
right,
to your point, this is a fun record.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and we'll go through the songs, but like you can hear them having fun playing these songs, and it's a bit goofy. There's some silliness on it,
Yeah.
But this is a band that sounds like, guys having a good time playing with each other, right?
Yeah. 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 To your point there. Yeah. 95's grunge. And when I was reading a little bit about them, just how the music industry was really on the search for grunge music, but obviously that was on the West Coast. So if there was anybody that they were trying to look for in that even close to grunge around the East of the country in New York, it was them. And because at the same time, hip hop was a really big genre, really blowing up in New York as well at the time, they said that they kind of had their own little like opportunity, like auditions almost every night, playing at like rock venues around New York City that, whereas a lot of people were just focused on hip hop at the time. So it was a real kind of like opportunity for them to work on their stuff and then, be discovered, I guess, eventually by Elektra Records signed them to this one, or Spire Records. And,
it was
Squire.
It was
Squire.
Squire, sorry. One of the two.
Yeah. I think it's like an affiliate of Elektra either way. So,
yes.
So it's just interesting. Yeah. Like that was kind of, trying to find a band like that around New York at the time was they would have been those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So good. So original. Original on one hand, but on the other hand, it's Bowie.
Yeah.
And T-Rex and Queen, and maybe a little bit of Axl Rose. We'll go through that too, because the big star of this show is the singer Royston Langdon. Like he is
Royston
a star.
Langdon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. The little guy with the big voice.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it like right off the bat and just going like, I love Bowie's voice and I love Axl Rose's voice. And I thought this is almost like a melding of those two. And then, but there's also falsettos. There's a little bit of Freddie Mercury in there. Man, I love this guy's voice.
All right. Well, hey, in the meantime, let's do it. Let's kick it off. Let's get into it. In the meantime.
The bass line in the song is like
that's what people
so
talk
good.
about. Yeah. This is kind of like this is sort of like the story of the album, is the bass line and the singing at the same time. People are like, their heads explode.
Well, it's hard to this is a very unconventional bass line. And for him he's not just like, you think about like, I hate to say it, but like bands like AC/DC, they just kind of like plod through, right?
Yeah.
And you can sing and play at the same time, but this is like going like this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
And I don't know how he does it. He's a super talented person.
Yeah.
We should say that for those of you who don't know, Royston is playing the bass and singing at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's cool. It was cool. And actually like really sit down and listen to it and not just hear it for the first, those oohs in a movie or something like that. So yeah.
I love it.
Good stuff.
I love the song. Yeah.
Classic tune.
Yeah.
And Spacehog blows my mind.
Spacehog is good too. It's so again, I like there's a lot of little links in this record. Okay. So Bowie was in a band called Tin Machine. And at the very end of Spacehog, you can hear Royston in the background singing. It's a Tin Machine song. He's singing the chorus of it, like in the background, and it's kind of like down low. If you listen, you can hear him doing it.
Yeah, I just, after hearing that, in the meantime, and then it goes into this, you're kind of like, all right, they knew it, like, because obviously the record label was like, in the meantime, that's the lead single, and of course they put it as the first song on the album. And I don't know, I kind of listened to the rest of this album and I'm like, there's nothing else you could have put out, I don't think, as a single from this album.
There are a couple. It's interesting that you bring that up, because I often thought about this as I was discovering this record, thinking like, In the Meantime for me is just unparalleled, right? But the more I listened to it, I could hear other singles. I could hear Cruel to Be Kind.
Right. Okay. Sure.
As a single.
Yeah.
I could hear Candyman as a single.
Yeah.
Like, it's involved, but
yeah,
I could hear that. And maybe Zeros, maybe. But maybe not. But Cruel to Be Kind for sure.
If anything, Cruel to Be Kind. I think, based on our music acumen, we could say those songs could be singles. I think based on the rest of the world, it wouldn't have hit. And so when I heard that, I was like, this is nothing like what you would have expected from hearing In the Meantime and then going into this album. So kudos to them for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's kind of playful and cheeky too, and that's not like In the Meantime is not that. So
right.
I think that's kind of one of the points of interest in the record right off the bat. When you hear it, you're like, it draws you in, because you're like, what? I was not expecting this at all.
No. And
then it keeps you going. It's like a huge amusement park ride. Like, you just keep going.
Yeah, because then Starside comes in after that. Yeah.
That may have been a single. That's a great, you know what that is? That's Starman, basically, by Bowie. Like, kind of reimagined slightly, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess in the verses, because then I was like, it even comes to a Space Oddity moment.
Exactly.
Whatever, right? So that, when I heard that, I was like, wow, these guys are big fans of Bowie. Big fans.
Oh, yeah. That's cool that you picked up on that, because that's exactly what happens, right?
Yeah.
It's a time change, like everything, and there's that weird clapping, like offbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was totally on purpose, actually.
Had to have been. I mean, like, I guess, like, because they do, people mention that it's Starman, and sure, but yeah, for me, it was like, just that one part really stood out to me as,
very perceptive. Totally right.
Yeah.
I love Starside. It's really, really good.
Yeah. It's, it is really good. Again, super catchy chorus, and it could have been a single, but I don't know. I think you would have to, I feel like if you're going to do multiple, this would be like a multiple singles album in the 70s. I think in the 90s, it just didn't really maybe fit some of these in terms of like being single material. And
I think you're right.
Anybody that's more well versed in 90s music than myself, please come at me. Let me know if I'm wrong. But, that's just kind of how I feel about what was coming out in the 90s. So, Candyman.
Beautiful. This is a tremendous, tremendous song.
Yeah.
That crescendo buildup in the breakdown, right? Where they kind of, and they bring it back up, and it's like, there's this tension that's rising.
Yeah.
It's like, and the vocal is so good.
It is. Yeah.
Amazing songwriting.
Shades of like, I kind of felt a little Stone Temple Pilots when I was listening to this one too. I don't know. What do you think?
It didn't occur to me, but
no,
there might be a connection there. Yeah.
Well, there's just something felt a little STP about it for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why.
Maybe. I like that it's just so like clever. They do the Candyman thing, which is kind of an homage to the Candyman, repeat the name. They don't do it 5 times, they do it 3, but then you hear that voice very subtly, Candyman, in the background. It's
right
like,
in the background.
Ooh, what's that? Yeah. Like, it's just cool. Stuff like that. Oh man, it's just such an interesting listen.
Well, it was recorded in a barn in the woods or something, so it could have been somebody out in the back just going, they just didn't realize. Yeah,
it's creepy.
Yeah, totally creepy. Fits the bill. Sounds great. Honestly, it's like, it sounds really good too for being where it was. So
yeah, nice solo too.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I should have
Yeah.
even said that with like Spacehog when he soloed. Was this in Spacehog? There's a great solo near the end too. Like
Hmm.
just some really smooth guitar playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guitar tone too is kind of a throwback. Like it's that warm, fuzzy kind of,
Yeah.
it sounds like a Les Paul through a Marshall. It's just like so
Yeah.
sweet. And the tone is perfect of the guitars.
That's exactly what I heard too. Les
Yeah.
Paul through a Marshall at approximately volume level 8, treble level 6, bass level 3. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. And then Space is the place I could skip all day long. I mean, it's kind of it's okay, but I don't think that I'm not long for this song.
I actually took this record and made a playlist of it with all the songs except that one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just so like pointless. I don't understand it. I don't see the point. I think it's needless and I just kind of excluded it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the intro, which is the end of Candyman, technically.
Setting it up.
Where
Yeah.
it's Johnny, what's his name? Johnny Craig.
Craig.
Who,
yeah.
is pretending he's a reverend or something, and he says his parishioners Royston and Anthony Langdon. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Next song deals with themes of brotherly love and homosexuality. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, right? Just having a good time.
That's right.
Good time with it. Yeah, it's a little too repetitive for me.
Yeah.
And I just it's not a good repetitive. So leads into Never Coming Down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of the soft intro to the the more aggressive version that would come later in the record.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this is the do's in the background, and that's kind of a nod to Sympathy for the Devil.
Ah, yes. Okay. That's right.
That's, I think it sounds that way. It's kind of like lazy, right? Like they're doing it on purpose. It's kind of almost a little bit like kind of sarcastic, you know?
And then not my observation, but others' observation is that Jesse's Girl comes next.
Oh yeah.
Or Cruel to Be Kind.
It's very similar. Yeah.
Pretty similar to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good this could have been a single. This is a good song. I love this song.
So do I. This gives you like this gives you like a good jolt. You know, especially after Never Coming Down. It just, that guitar just like blasts out of the speakers, right?
It sure does.
On purpose. So
Yes.
it's like, wake up.
Yeah. Where did you think of a little makeup? It's very good. Very good.
Yeah, this is a great tune.
You
know what else is cool? They have that. See, that riff is really cool, right? And the tone and the volume and all of it. But then they have that like old school kind of like one note piano line playing. Right? I love that stuff, man.
Shipwrecked. Nice little ballad here. Yeah.
My favorite thing about this song is the vocal exploration. It sounds like, to me, he's just kind of trying to figure out what his voice can do. And he's got that huge falsetto, and then he grinds a little bit, and he kind of like he's exploring his full range, not in an embarrassing kind of like inferior novice way. Like he's just kind of, and he's not showing off either. It's just like it's a really interesting listen for me.
Yeah, you get this whole other side of him that you haven't heard really. I mean, you kind of hear it a bit in the meantime, but this to me is just like him. Yeah, like your point, not showing off, but just being like, "Hey, we want to bring it down a little bit." This is where I get a little like even Scott Weiland from his Christmas album. a little bit here too.
Mm-hmm.
So who came
you hear
first?
a lot. Like there's a lot of Freddie Mercury and a lot of Axl in the song.
Right. Oh, there it is. Axl. Is this where we're hearing Axl? Is this it?
In this one. Yeah.
Point.
And that song that's coming up too.
Great point, Brent. Great point. Finally, a great point. It's been a long time since you brought a great point to the show, Brent.
Thank God.
I just
I was going to lose my job there.
Yeah, man, I've been carrying it. I've been like, man, all my great points. I really hope Brent brings a great point to this one. Hey, here's a great point that I completely missed, and I did this last week where I was like, oh, by the way, I want to go back 10 songs. So real quick, Space is the Place. Monkey Wrench by Foo Fighters. Think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear that? Because that's what I heard.
Certainly.
I was like, right? It's just a bunch of na-na-nas. I don't think I ever changed key there, but that's what I heard. I was just like, did Foo Fighters take Lift?
That came out after. Right?
Yeah. Monkey Wrench came out after, right? Yeah. So, well, anyways.
No, this is definitely, I can hear that. Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Go back and listen, folks. Or just listen right here. I've always wanted to do that. Only a few.
Nice and smooth. I like this.
Smooth. Yeah.
Yeah. It's peculiar. And again, interesting. You know, it's you don't expect these things. Yeah. And the instrumentation's a bit kind of almost like Eastern, you know?
Yeah.
There's some really interesting kind of like sonic flavors, I guess you could say, in this song.
And I think if you've held on this long in the album, you're accepting of what this is. You're just like, yeah, this is great. This is a deep cut. This for sure is a deep cut of an album and a band like this.
Yeah. There's like the cool percussion thing too, and like it's really buried in the mix. It's like bongos kind of.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just really catchy melodies. Like when he starts singing in this song, you know, it's just very like, yeah, whoa. Like, and just very uplifting and melodic. It's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you like this record.
Wom, wom, wom. Yeah. The Last Dictator.
So good.
Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, it is.
This is the Axl song. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's that you know that when it starts, there's like this double tap of like. Tick, 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 tick. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's like it's like two wooden sticks being tapped together.
It's a glockenspiel, right? Is that what you were mentioning?
Something like that. Yeah. But it's just, again,
I think they're just wooden sticks. You're right. Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
And then, it kicks in and he starts doing the hoo-hoo-hoos. And man, this is such a good song. Yeah.
I know. And the what do you call that? The guitar when the volume increases. There's a name for that. I can't think of it.
A volume increase. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, it's like I don't know. It's an effect that you can use on your guitar to like. Anyway,
right. Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, huge Axl vocal on this
rev.
one.
Is it a rev?
It's not.
Rev.
No, it's like a boost or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Boost. Okay, hold on. I think we spent last episode trying to figure something out. We'll spend this episode trying to figure this out. Okay, where does the Axl stuff come in? What are you thinking? Just
in the end of the chorus.
Yeah.
You wanted me to be this way.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, the way that he gets into it. I just had to listen.
It just
to
kind of goes like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never Coming Down, Part 2.
I like it. It's great.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about it is that Spacehog, like SATURDAY kind of thing. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's a little, again, having fun. They're just like, you know, we got our whole lives to make our first album. Let's do it.
Camp.
Have a blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've kind of already touched on Zeros a little bit, but yeah.
That was the big brush off. So that was a girl giving him, he asked for her number and she said 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Oh, that's what it is, eh?
Yeah. I think
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
And then To Be a Millionaire, was it likely?
Yeah. I like it. I don't like it. I like the idea of it. Kind of, you know, it's very kind of folky and all that stuff. But then they do that stupid hidden track thing, which I think in '95 was like all the rage, right? Everybody had to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just is more annoying than anything because you don't have the technology to like switch it off. Maybe you did with the remote, but like you did like, you're like, what is this now? Why isn't it just not going to the next CD? You know, and then some dumb noise comes on like 20 minutes later.
Well, that was the thing. This got me. Okay. So I do like the first part. It's good. It's a fun way to send it off. So I saw that it was 20 minutes and 19 seconds on iTunes here. So I'm sure the rest of the world knows, but we got hit by a lot of snow. So I spent a lot of time shoveling lately. And so last week, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this 20-minute song on, and I'm going to go out and shovel, and I'm going to listen to, you know, what happens. Because I had already heard it up to a point where it goes to, like, the hidden track part. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to listen and see what comes on for the next 20 minutes. And I'm shoveling to absolutely nothing.
Silence.
And I'm shoveling, and I'm like... And I checked my phone to make sure I didn't pause it by accident. And I put it back in, and I'm shoveling, and I'm shoveling, and I'm shoveling. And then all of a sudden, this just feedback loop of whatever this is comes on. And I'm like, well, this is going to lead into something cool, right? And I'm shoveling, and I'm shoveling. No. And it's the same thing. And I'm like going crazy listening to this thing, and I was like, I almost gave this album a 1 just because of that stupid end track that led to nothing while I was shoveling. I could have listened to absolutely anything. Instead, I chose to listen to nothing.
You never get that time back.
Yeah, I will not. Nope. So that's how I felt about that.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
Well,
but what a great discovery, man. Good for you going out and buying this album. And, you know, again, in the dawn of the 90s album where so many one-hit wonders from,
I know,
you know, Third Eye Blind to The Verve to, you know, what was Third Eye Blind 90s? I don't know. Was the Jumpers not 90s?
I think so. Yeah.
Great Blue Something and Breakfast at Tiffany's. So many 90s one-hit wonders. And you were just like, this is going to be it. This is going to be the album where these guys do something great. And it's great.
I love it. I still listen to this record today. I listened to it this morning, as a matter of fact.
Well, I mean, we're recording a show on it, so it makes sense. But
no, but I know it so well. Like, I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, intentionally listen to it. Nice.
Yeah.
Good, man. Well,
so the eternal question.
4.5. 4.7.
Okay. Where's the Space is the place? Is that the
Space is the place and the hidden track? The hidden track really screwed them. The thing I just went off about for 20 minutes for the majority of the show.
So that's not even a consideration for me. That stuff is just so dumb that I've never thought that was cool.
I mean, if it's going to be something cool, I mean, I think I remember when Blink-182 did it on one of their albums, like, but so that was kind of like interesting to me. But no, this got me.
All right, could have been a 5.
What follows this? Where are we going? What's happening after this? I'm intrigued.
Oh my. Okay.
Chumbawamba, tub thumping.
Oh God.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't even know if that was the name of the album. But
it's the name of the song.
Name of the song.
You know what? And now I'm tempted. I was gonna say, let's do another T-Rex because we wanted to do Electric Warrior and we never did.
Okay.
With the slider, but I'm very tempted to go forward a little bit.
Okay.
Not do Chumbawamba.
Okay.
But see now, if I say it, we have to do it.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. There's no taking it back. There's no takesies backsies.
I kind of want to do it though. We can always bring T-Rex back.
Yeah.
I think we should do Elephant by the White Stripes.
Is this Seven Nation Army territory?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's good stuff on it. Yeah. Like Ball and Biscuit.
I look forward to this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
We can do T-Rex. I've got now I just thought of 3 other records and bands and everything else.
Well, we're not going anywhere. Not going anywhere, man. There we go. So.
All right.
Okay. Sweet. I hope everybody else enjoyed Resident Alien by Spacehog.
Well, one of the reasons why, again, I wanted you to hear this, but I also wanted, we have people who tune in regularly now, so I wanted them to hear this too, because this had happened with a couple of records I think that we did. Blackfoot was one of them, where I brought that in, and that you can't get more obscure than Blackfoot, really.
Right.
So people said, "Oh, I would have never, thought to I didn't even know Blackfoot existed." So awesome. So it's a good discovery. So that's important to me to do stuff like that.
Blackfoot exists. Bigfoot does not. Just
correct, as far as you know.
Remember that.
Yeah.
I've been to 3 countries, Brent. I think I know a thing or two about the world. Okay. Thanks.
All right.
And on that note,
thanks for the history lesson and the geography lesson.
You're welcome. Pangea.
Wow.
It's when the world